Hey, welcome to another episode of Amp Up Solar Talk. Joining me today is Manny Aponte from GoodWe, a global leader in inverter and solar energy technology. Today we'll be talking about the ESUS inverter and how it pairs so well with the LG Prime battery. So if you're watching live, be sure and drop your questions in the chat. We love to include you in the conversation. Manny, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much for having me, Kelly.
I'm so glad that you're here. Now, for those who may not be familiar, can you tell us a little bit about who GoodWe is and what drives their design philosophy?
Yeah, so GoodWe is one of the leading smart inverters manufacturers in the world. It's been in business since 2010. And they created the first inverter about in 2011, and since then they've been evolving. As of today, GoodWe has about 6,000 employees, and a little bit over this 6,000, 1,600 are R&D engineers, and they are just focusing on new product and the evolution of what's next, what's coming next. And yeah, as far as in the United States, they started into 2020. That's where GoodWe started here. It is a public company in the Shanghai stock. So, and then according to Wood Mackenzie, they recognize GoodWe as the number one inverter, hybrid inverter supplier among the top 5 in the world. And Bloomberg recognizes us as a stable company. So it's a tier 1 inverter manufacturer that is starting here in the US with inverters and their battery solutions.
Yeah, you guys have been very successful in the international market.
Yes.
And now that you're jumping into the US market with this ESUS inverter built specifically for North America, tell me what went into the design for this one being a little bit different than what you've designed.
Yes,
otherwise.
Absolutely. So as you mentioned, the ESUS was specifically designed for the United States market. As we evolved, storage has become more important. Like the net meter is going away. So people are valuing more like that storage. We've seen places where the grid is not stable. So storage is becoming a must when you purchase solar. So with the ESUS, it gives you a different, it gives you flexibility to use it on multiple applications. So if you want to have like a storage only, you can have the inverter and the battery. And let's say that you have an apartment, you don't have solar, but you want to have that, then you can use it for that purpose without solar. If you have an existing system that is grid tied and you like to add a battery, then you can use this hybrid inverter and tie it in as well. Or if you just like designing from the scratch system, you can basically use the ESUS, which is a hybrid inverter, and you can either use it for full home backup, or you can use it for partial loads, however you want it. So that's basically what it came into the design. And also the installation is very simple. Like once you open this company, you can see how easy it is to mitigate the wire management and the whole installation, the commissioning. They put so much thoughts behind in terms and thinking about the installer, because that's the bottom line is. It's like the installer is our customers, and then the customer of installers is also our customer, but it comes down to the experience, right? So you want a system that you can install quick and easy.
Yes.
And then once you finish, you are hoping never hear back from the customer, because usually when you hear back, there's a issue. So that's basically like the focus on the design of the inverter and the solutions that we provide in the US.
Right. So what I hear you saying is this one is designed to be flexible. However you want to set it up. If you want it to be grid tied, it can be grid tied. If you want it to just be batteries, it can be batteries. If you want it to just be PV, it can be PV. But if you want to put it all together, however you want to use it, you can use it.
Exactly. So, and when it comes to installation and the design of how to install it, we make it so easy that it's also it's desirable for the DIY market. So although the batteries are high voltage, which it may
Yes.
sound daunting and
That scares a
it
lot of
scares a lot
people,
of people.
for
Yeah,
sure.
but
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, there's multiple videos out there that show how easy it is.
Mhm.
How can one person can do the whole installation?
And it's a lot easier to work with those smaller wires.
Absolutely. So I think that eventually that's where the market is going, where the people choose like, okay, well, let's have an installer doing it, or there's also other people, mostly engineers, that they know how to do everything, and they just say like, okay, well, let's go ahead and do it, and then they do it themselves. But you don't need to be an engineer. You just again, there's many videos out there that you can see how to install it. It's very easy and seamless.
Well, let's talk about our DIY audience.
Yeah.
Do you guys offer any kind of certifications or training for your product specifically?
Yeah, well, we do that through our partners. Like, for instance,
Okay.
like Signature Solar, they have a
Okay.
division that are dedicated to DI. So those are the people that we spend the time, because they are like the ones that are speaking with us customers, and we want to make sure. It's kind of like the same process that we do. We have a support dedicated for the installers. So for installers, we once they decide to move forward with GoodWe, the first few install, we help with the one line diagram. We make sure that is gonna be okay, and then should not have any problem with the ASJ when they submit a permit. But furthermore, at the time that is time for installation, we also have our technical sales engineer, and he will be happy to go to the installation and make sure that when they commission it, they can do it. But again, it's so easy that actually, like, we can do this online, because again, we have the Solar Go app, which is the app that the installer uses to install, and we have the other app for the customer, which is amazing too. It's called the Sims.
So Solar Go and Sims Portal, we'll talk about those a little bit later. But I hear you saying over and over, this is so easy to install. And you and I were talking earlier, and you said you combined this trip with visiting some of your installers on your way up here. What are you hearing from your installers with this US hybrid inverter about the ease of install, the flexibility of it? What are you hearing from them?
Well, like one of the things that people like is that, we have an inverter of 11.4, which is, in Texas, we have to realize that, we have a lot of big homes, and, you need that high output, right? So people like that. The fact that is you can use a high voltage battery. That means that it's a higher efficiency. And, like, from experience of other people installing it, one of the things that I heard multiple times is that the inverter is super quiet, because you have like this solid cooler system, and it has a fan, but the fan is like, it has to be like super hot. But like, that's one of the things that people like also, that it's very quiet, and it's not big, like, it's very compact. As you can see, like, this is like the chassis for all the inverters, and we have from 5 kilowatt to 11.4 kilowatt, and they all are like, it's not even 3 feet of space. So that's a lot of thing that like, space in many places is very it can be like a challenge. So with the ESUS, you can feed that anywhere.
Talk to me about its compatibility with the LG Prime battery, because I got a chance to test this, and the ease of hooking it up was great. How did you guys design this with this battery?
Absolutely. So LG, the ESUS 16 is a great battery. It's high voltage, same as the battery that the GoodWe made, which is the Lynx, is high voltage. But this one is one of the handful batteries that we are compatible. And when we start looking into the similarities, basically the LG engineers and the GoodWe, they work together. So
nice when companies collaborate to make things easy on the consumer, for sure.
Right. And again, it's a great product. So ultimately, like, the whole communication works seamlessly as if I was a GoodWe product, and that's what it makes it so special with the LG, which is it's a great product, great brand. People have LG in their refrigerators and everything. So but GoodWe is also a well-established brand around the world.
Yes.
It's new in the US, but it is my job to change that in the near future. But again, like I stand behind the brand, and it's just because the fact. Another thing is it's super reliable. I have installers that have installed these inverters for over 2-3 years, and they have no issues. And again, they always say how easy is to install. Like usually for installers to make money, ideally they want to be able to do 2 installs a day with 1 crew, right? And the less people that you need, then the better, right? So, and with GoodWe, they can accomplish that.
And you mentioned reliability. What is the warranty on this thing?
Yeah, it is 10 years warranty. So on the inverters and the batteries.
What is the longest that you've seen one be installed internationally?
Well, I haven't seen internationally, just to be completely candid, because again, I can tell about like the U.S. market.
Okay.
I know that in the U.S. and also like Puerto Rico is another market that I oversee, and like we've been since 2020. So like again, I don't see any R&D. We have a very few R&D, like replacement R&Ds, but they're very seldom. But what I can tell you though is that we make it easier for the installer, because we know that at the end is the bottom line is the customer experience. So the way that we do it is we do a troubleshoot. If the inverter work and it's a firmware issue, then we fix it online. If it's the inverter that is damaged, then we just like they can take it back to the distributor, and then we create a distributor, and they can take it back. And what that does is allow the installer have a quick, timely solution. Because me personally, being in the industry for 11 years, I know what is to have an angry customer because his expensive system is not working, and time is money, right?
Well, and they want their electricity.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sure.
Right. So it's and we are very mindful of that. And then that was one of the things that we realized that it's not only a good product, what is going to allow the adoption to use more GoodWe. It's like the installers, the reality, and like most of the installers can agree with me that we've seen a lot of big companies going out, and the support is not great. So, and that's where we are focused on. That's where we want to grow lean and mean, very organically robust. But it's because we want to make sure that the installer who use us, they have the support that they need. And GoodWe is a very financial stable company. Right. So we can offer that peace of mind that we're gonna be here to honor the warranty. And that's that relates to many installers.
Right. So you're offering the warranty.
Yes.
You're offering a reliable product, and you're going to be here in person to support them however that they need, and have a quick switch out if need be.
That's correct.
Sounds good. We've got a lot of audience questions come in.
Oh yeah.
But before I get to those, I do want to talk about this automatic backup device.
Yes.
So what is that, and when would you need? Do you always need an automatic backup device or ABD to go with your inverter?
Yeah, no, great question. So as you guys can see that we have like the inverter and we have the ABD. So the ABD stands for automatic backup device. That usually it's for additional purpose. But let's say that you just want. You live in California, for instance, and there are some utilities that give you some incentive, so you can have the batteries for grid arbitration, which means that the utility will have access to deploy the charge from the battery and discharge it during peak time. Then if that's the only use that you're going to be using it, then you don't need an automatic backup device. The automatic backup device is if you're looking to have backup storage, and you're looking to have multiple functionalities, such as self-consumption, in where you can set up the system to discharge the battery during time of use, or times where the electricity is super high, then you want to use the battery. Then like with the automatic backup device, you can do that. If you like, this comes with an AV plug-in. So if you want to be able to control when your car is being charged, whether it's when it's sunny, then the charge will start, or when it's at night where the electricity rate is very low, then you can do that, and that's through the automatic backup device. So this is a 200 amps, so this is kind of like, this can service the most common main service panel in the
So this
US.
is like your transfer switch.
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
Exactly. And then also it allows you to connect a generator. So the way that works is like, if you have a stand-up generator as a backup, and then from the automatic transfer switch, you connect that to the ABD. And then what the ABD does is like, basically it's kind of prioritize solar and the battery. And then once it runs out, then it's going to send a signal to the automatic transfer switch from the generator, and then the generator start. So you have a backup of a backup.
Nice.
So that's basically what the ABD does.
Okay. What kind of switchover time can the homeowner expect with the ABD?
Oh man, this is like milliseconds, I would say.
Will they even know that their lights went off?
Yeah, exactly. And then if you look into also like some of the standards that the EUL require in terms of the arc faults, usually requires for you to detect it within 700 Julius. This detected within 500. In terms of distance, the UL require 80 meters. This basically can detect the arc fault within 200 meters. So yeah, there is like a lot of good stuff here. It comes with also a built-in rapid shutdown transmitter, which is APS. So yeah, a lot of safety. They even have some AI integration within the inverter that allows to optimize the whole system production.
Nice. So a lot of safety, and you're more than meeting the standards, is what it sounds like.
Exactly, and that's the commitment to it. Like that's the commitment from the engineer and the innovation within the product and everything.
That sounds great. Let's see what kind of audience questions we're getting. So Trey Fred says, current inverter data sheet shows EV charger support via J1772 charger cable. Are there plans to support NACS chargers in the future?
Yeah, I mean, like, I would say maybe. One of my jobs is to go market to market, and I stay abreast of what is currently going on, right, and what is the need. So I guess that since EV has been always like, many people say, oh, that's a nice to have, and so people they really like it. What I can tell you is that the EV charger cable that we use is a proprietary also, and it's a plug and play. So whether we move forward with that version that your audience is looking for, this is something that I can take back. And as we look into new products, we can evolve into that for sure.
I will say, I thought it was really cool to see an EV charging input inside the inverter. That's something you don't normally see.
Yeah. Again, it's plug and play. If you want the EV charge, just just get the cable and that's it.
Nice. So Walter wants to know, can this be installed outside? How quiet is the inverter during operation? And can it be installed indoors or in a garage?
Yes. Yes. Indoor or in a garage is an NEMA 4X, which allows to be inside or outside. I don't have a decibel in terms of noise. I just can tell you this is something that I heard as a feedback in comparison to other brands out there. So I'll get you that. Maybe I'll add that, decibel thing on the next,
So Walter, I got a chance to test this inverter, and honestly, I don't remember hearing it. And everybody outside says it's so quiet. And it's like, you know what? I don't remember ever hearing the fan kick on at all. And that's something that I usually do here. So I guess it was quiet.
There you go.
I don't remember hearing it at all.
I like testimony. Love it.
So we have another question. Can you get one in off-grid only?
Can we get one in off-grid only? I mean, you can set it up for off-grid. And actually this inverter with the GoodWe batteries, you can do 4 stack. But if you do an off-grid situation, you can do up to 8 stacks. And each stack of batteries up to 19.2, so you can do up to 76.8.
So when you're talking about stacks, you're talking about the Lynx
yeah.
batteries,
yeah,
that are GoodWe brand,
right. And but like for the LG, it can do the off-grid. But again, like off-grid is a tricky thing because you need to have overproduction so the inverter stays on and it's consistent fluency and enough charge. So can it be set up for off-grid? Yes. And do we have our pre-sales team that can help you to address all that and help you with the design? Absolutely. We'll be more than happy. So feel free to reach out to our folks at Signature Solar, and they can definitely refer to us, and we can definitely get you the whole plan set and everything for that.
Sounds like as a team, we'll be happy to help you.
Yes.
Our design team is great at that.
Yes.
So, Lombard Stereo says, do you have plans to offer multiple simultaneous inverter and battery capability to provide true full home backup with greater than 50 amps without needing to install a critical loads panel?
Yeah, I mean, like ultimately that comes down to, like how much power output you need. Do we have, okay, so we don't stop evolving, and, there's not much I can share right now, but are we going to have something more powerful in 2026? Yes. And so
exciting.
Let's just leave it at that. And then, coming soon.
I like it.
But yeah, stay tuned.
Okay. Cyclone Surfer says, what is the battery chemistry?
LFP.
And what are the fire risks?
The fire risk. What are the fire risks? I mean, that's kind of broad question. Well, I mean, I can tell you that we do mitigate fire risk by using our, rapid shutdown transmitter, which, it detects, it over complement what is required. But yeah, I mean, like that's the only thing I can think about. But if you tell me like about fire risk, like in a specific scenario, I'll be able to elaborate a little bit more. But the only thing that comes to my mind right now will be like the rapid shutdown. The transmitter is integrated there.
Yeah, and all batteries have to go through a UL certification also to be able to be sold.
Exactly.
So to mitigate fire risk as well.
That's correct. And again, you can install this inside and outside the house. So yeah.
Okay. Trey Fred also wants to know, are current sensors built into the ABD, or do CTs need to be connected for load management or sensing?
No, there's some CTs built into the ABD.
Already installed.
So yeah, so you guys can, like they can just use those for the load management and the whole monitoring. The whole monitoring is gonna, give you how much, like it tells you how much the system produce, how much the homeowner use, and how much is exporting out, and it give you the whole thing. So yes, that's what the CTs are for.
Sounds good. And Chance wants to know, what is the max solar input voltage and wattage?
What is the max solar input
voltage and wattage?
Max solar input wattage. Oh man,
yeah.
Like I am the sales guy. Usually I have my technical wing guy here. So the maximum solar, I believe, is 60 amp for MPPTs. And then the maximum wattage in terms of, I will say from module capacity. So this 11.4, you can put up to 17 kilowatt of PV. So if that's what he's asking for, is like you can put up to 17 kilowatt of PV with this 11.4.
And each MPPT is 16 amps?
Yes.
And how many MPPTs?
It got four MPPTs. So 63, it will be like the connection for the ABD is 200 amps, and it has a 63 amp for the interconnection.
Okay. Walter wants to know, and I'm glad that you asked this, Walter, because we were needing to go back here. What kind of monitoring does GoodWe offer is there an app or just over the web? Now, we touched on this a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
We have Solar Go and we have Sims Portal. Those
Correct.
are two different apps that you have. And I think I was told you guys are trying to get all of that into one app. But what is the difference between the two? And what does that look like for the homeowner and the installer?
Yeah, absolutely. So the Solar Go is the app for the installers. This is the app that they use to connect with the system, like do the Wi-Fi, connection and do the commissioning. The SIMS is the app for the customer. So that's where the customers see that they can monitor the system. Through the app, they can also set up the EV charging on what time does the EV charge.
So they can set up their time of use settings.
Correct. So like that's where the SIMS is like a very comprehensive. And I think that, what you're saying is we are trying to evolve and where we are going to have only one instead of two. That way, it's kind of like the same thing. But the Solar Go, it does more than just, it's not only for the commissioning, but it also is for, the installer to also be able to have remote troubleshooting, or if there's any firmware that they need to upload, then they use the Solar Go. So I think that, like right now where we're trying to go is to merge these two in one. And I think that it's going to stay as a SIMS. But again, there's not much detail that I can share about it. But, again, our team is continuing looking into how to evolve our design.
Yeah. Well, so when you look into the future of solar, especially with hybrid systems, how do you see GoodWe helping homeowners move closer to full energy independence?
Yeah. So, I mean, like we start with the installer base, right? So we want to first, make sure that the installer has the support that they need. Sometimes we do, seminars. We also have some NAPCEP courses that, it really help the individuals that take the solar industry seriously as a path of their career.
Absolutely.
That is something that we use. In terms of like availability, we have spent the time to identify which are like the market that makes sense to have distribution. So we have a warehouse in Miami, one in Houston, and one in California. That way we can have enough supply, to service the whole state.
And to get it there faster, I assume.
To get it faster, and also to avoid some of the high costs. If you're in Texas, why not have a warehouse in Texas, and bring it from California? It's more expensive.
Sure.
So that's ultimately, it's like it comes down to that. And then for the homeowner, it's all about experience and how easy we can make this to be able to install. So we always looking into how we can make this design more easier to, plug and play.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you being here today, Manny.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing your insights and sharing how GoodWe is making hybrid energy systems more flexible and, caring about the installer and the customer as well. So with your innovation always. To our viewers, thanks so much for tuning in and also for sending in your questions. That always makes this more engaging. So thank you for doing that. If you'd like to learn more about the GoodWe ESUS hybrid inverter, the ABD, or its compatibility with the LG Prime battery, visit us at signaturesolar.com. And as always, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Facebook at Signature Solar US so you never miss an episode. And we'll see you next time right here on Amp Up Solar Talk.